Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So I guess we got to talk about the censorship of hate speech. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to give you a disclosure notice. I'm an avid, rabid anti-racist. So I'm going to be a little biased here. Generally, in broad terms, I support what YouTube did. I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to clean up their platform. I get that. I especially understand it because you can go to the comment section of videos on my channel and you'll see this is a breath of fresh air, in comparison to the cesspool that YouTube has become. I can see them wanting to make a change. So the question is, when does something become hate speech? When does it become dangerous? When should it be censored? That's the question. To me, the line's simple. You want to be a bigot? You got a right to be a bigot. You do. The second you advocate for violence, discrimination, or some kind of negative thing to be visited upon whoever it is you're bigoted against, well, then that's a problem. That's the line. You can think whatever you want. You can talk about whatever you want. But the second you start wanting to encourage others to hurt people, well, that changes things. That changes things. And I don't care how veiled it is. When you say, well, we need a leaderless resistance, historians know what that means. That's assassinations and church bombings. Yeah, you need to get off the platform. So I don't have time to be in the comment section tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get ahead of some of the arguments that are going to pop up. Well, I have a First Amendment right. You do. You do. That protects you from the government, not from a private company and not from public outcry. This is censorship, and I have freedom of speech. You do have freedom of speech, but nobody has to platform you. Nobody. I'm an editor. I have my own platforms. I don't allow racist stuff on mine. I can't hold YouTube to a higher standard. Go build your own platform. Well, they took out things that weren't, that weren't racist. They took out, stuff about conspiracy theories and all of this stuff. Yeah, that's a gray area to me, but it's not my platform. In my opinion, that stuff should be out there. Sunlight is a really good disinfectant. It makes it easier to debunk. And I also like it because it encourages people to become interested in history. Yeah, they start off in a bad place a lot of times, but then they find out some truth along the way. And then you just have to get rid of the junk they picked up. A lot of these guys are ardent capitalists that are complaining about this move. Gentlemen, the market has spoken. The market has spoken. It's that simple. We don't want you. Well, it could happen to you. It could at any time. It's their platform. They have that ability. It's theirs. They own it. Their responsibility is to the shareholders. That's it. That's why maybe large corporations really aren't such a great thing in a lot of ways. But in this case, I don't really have a whole lot of problem with what they did. But they made mistakes. They banned a history professor. How can you... Yeah, I know. They did. They made mistakes. They banned thousands of channels. They hit thousands of channels in this thing. They made mistakes. If we take all of the ones that we know about, all the mistakes that we know about, multiply it by 10, what do you got? 200? YouTube was more accurate with their deletions and demonetization than police are with their gunfire. I mean, I am certain that they will roll out a patch. They will fix this. There are bugs. But let me tell you about one of the channels they did take out. They took out an organization, they demonetized an organization called News to Share. Go over there. It is hours upon hours of Nazis speaking, Klansmen speaking, alt-right rallies. That's like 60% of the content on that thing. It's ran by a guy named Ford Fisher. He's the front man. We're drinking buddies. I'm an avid anti-racist. Yeah, they made a mistake. They did, and they'll fix it, I'm sure. There are different kinds of journalism. What you're watching right now is gonzo journalism. Ford, he's a documentarian. He documents extremist activity and protests in the United States. That's what he does. Yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of Nazis and alt-right guys on his channel. I know some people are saying, well, he's platforming them. You know, he's doing this. He's getting their ideas out there. I understand that. I do. I really do. And you'll definitely come to that conclusion if you go to his comments section. There's a lot of racist in it. So much so that I don't go there anymore, and I'm a Patreon supporter of him. I understand that. However, to those who would say he's platforming them and that he's helping them, the question I have is, how many violent Nazis or Klansmen have you helped put behind bars? I guarantee you Ford Fisher's number is higher. You remember when that goon drove his car into the crowd? Guess whose footage was instrumental in figuring that out? Guy opening fire on the crowd? Yeah. And I know that a lot of the big complaint I get from a lot of the anti-fascists that I know is that, well, you know, we have our own people who do, you know, who go to these things and photograph and videotape it, and we don't have to put it out there for public consumption, you know, and we can dox them. And yeah, I get it. You can do all your intelligence work from your stuff. However, there are people that don't have access to your stuff, and those speeches, yeah, still photographs. They can provide identification. Video evidence of those speeches provides intent. That's what intelligence work is really about. You got to know who the guys are who are actually trying to incite violence, and the guys who are just there to rip off the racists, because that's a large portion of them. A lot of these guys don't believe their own stuff. They're just there to make money. And his videos can really help determine who's who. And so, yeah, they made mistakes, and I'm sure they will fix it. And Ford and News to Share is just a brilliant, shining example of it. It's the one time you're going to find me and Ben Shapiro on the same side, because I guess he's taken up for him too. There are a lot of outlets that have used their material. I mean, seriously, only one of the outlets that I've written for, and I have written for a lot, has not used their stuff. It's extremely valuable journalism. Now, to Ford, because I'm sure you're going to watch this, two things. One, come pick up your emergency car kit. Two, quit your belly aching. I read about you in Rolling Stone today. You can't buy publicity like this. Anyway, guys, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.